Hello everyone, I am Anne Gabriel Anghoko and I will be with you for tonight as your co-host. I describe myself as the mediocre writer from University of Manila. It is another night for us to learn and engage ourselves how wonderful knowledge and wisdom can be when applied. The objective of this channel is to promote the feminine genius advocacy. One of the many goals is women empowerment and gender equality through education and livelihood. One way to educate is by inviting guests of any gender who will impart their personal journey, challenges, and breakthroughs that will give invaluable learnings to the viewers. By becoming a guest, he or she is tagged as the friend of the feminine genius. Tonight, I would like to introduce to you one of our co-hosts, Miss Ella Wans, who is an IT specialist, researcher, an educator, a financial advisor, a vlogger, and an industry practitioner. She is also promoting the team Helpful to help newbie YouTubers. Miss Ella Wans will soon be a Doctor of Information and Technology. Let us welcome Miss Ella Wans.
Good evening, everyone. Mega love shoutout to all of you. Hi, Anne.
Hi Miss Ella, kamusta po?
Ayan, okay lang. Thank you so much. Ayan, medyo okay na yung audio ko. Mega love shoutout po sa lahat ng Team Helpful na nandyan po. And ang aga nila kanina. So, syempre nandyan po si avid fan po ng ating co-host na si Anne, si Nathaniel. Ayan, napaka-early bird niya kanina. And syempre, nandyan po ang Eres Angel. si Kathnel TV from Team Helpful. And later, isa-shoutout ko kayong lahat. Don't worry. Mega love shoutout sa inyong lahat. Back to you, Anne.
Ayan. So, this moment, I would like to introduce to you our host, Dr. Ria Liza. So, Dr. Ria is a civil engineer, materials engineer 1, and a certified patent agent. Dr. Ria is an industry practitioner, academician, researcher, innovator, inventor, technologist, scientist, entrepreneur, patent professional, and science communicator. She is also the founder, CEO, inventor of PO Light Technology Incorporation, a startup local manufacturer that uses green technology to contribute to nation building. Through her innovative construction materials, Dr. Ria was conferred with national awards. Dr. Ria also promotes the feminine genius as a female making impact in male-dominated industries such as construction, manufacturing, and creatives for an authentic cultural change where deep technology revolutionizes creative industry towards sustainable and inclusive development. She was featured in several media outfits as an ASEAN designer and a woman in science. She is the current director of the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship of National University, Philippines. And with that, let us welcome Dr. Ria Liza.
Hello! I hope my audio is fine. Okay lang ba? Hello everyone and
Yes
welcome
po.
to my channel, Dr. Ria Liza, always at your service. Of course, this channel is meant to promote the feminine genius advocacy. And those advocacies are also our membership packages. And these are humility, kindness, patience, good character, industry, virtue, piety, and devotion. And as a feminine genius, I spread lessons by featuring people from my network of any gender to share their personal journeys, their challenges, and their breakthroughs. Because we believe that listening to other people's story is called humility, and sharing is called generosity. We are somehow influenced by the lives of other people, and we can apply that in our own selves. Remember, life is short. Let us live our lives to the fullest, and let us be inspired by our guests. By the way, we are live via Facebook page, The Feminine Genius, and we've got a lot of members already under our Facebook page. So, and of course, live at the Feminine Genius Groups, the Feminine Genius Groups Philippines. And for the Feminine Genius brand development and direction, our Agos Maharlika, no other than Bon Labora, and coming very soon, nade-delay na ng ilang araw. Okay. Coming very soon is the Feminine Genius Myths, the book which will feature all our guests. Each our guest will have one chapter in that book. Of course, with my co-author, no other than the mediocre writer, Miss Anne Gabriel Onhoko, and to be published by Agimat Publishing of Bon Labora. All right. So hello, Ellen, and hello, Anne.
Hi, Ma'am Ria. We're okay.
Okay. Yeah. Girls, today, March, the month of March, is the Women's Month. Alam natin yan, di ba?
Yes.
And
National
we are
Women's
now,
Month.
yeah, the National Women's Month. And ang ganda nung theme ng Women's Month, no? The theme is We Make Change Work for Women. Maganda
Yes.
mamaya pag-usapan natin yung theme na yan for this live show, no. Of course, pandemic is a disruption. There are so many changes, but these changes are supposed to be women friendly. Wala dapat ang mga women dapat ay nakakasabay sa mga changes na gagawin natin towards our new normal. And we started the tradition since last year that every Women's Month, of course, our guests are, actually, Ella, maingay ng konti yung audio yata. Medyo maingay ng konti audio, no? That every Women's Month, we have a wish fulfiller and we have a wisher whose wish will be fulfilled. And of course, every March, ang ating guest ay mga empowered women. So, big bang agad natin for this week of March. We have 4 weeks. We'll be featuring 4 magnificent women this month. Okay, kaya guys, yung wish natin, huwag kakalimutan, mag, mag, you have to fill in the link, no? Isi-share ko lang saglit, Share ko lang yung link. Um, Andyan naman si Ma'am Kat. Siyempre, i-share yung link na yan para sa commerce. So, please, ito ipopost ko, Ma'am Kat, sa ating comment section. Teka lang. Ayan. The Google Drive link in the comment section. It will be seen in in our Facebook and in our YouTube. Please fill up that link because at the end of the show, a wish will be fulfilled. Wish, mga simple wish, no? Mamaya magbibigay sila, Ella, ng mga example ng mga simple wishes. Wag naman house and lot. At saka wag naman brand new car. Okay? So, mga simple wish na pwedeng ibigay sa atin para maging medyo masaya tayo, no? Na meron tayong na wish na fulfill this Women's Month. All right. So, Ella, back to
Yan,
you.
tama. Yan, narinig natin kay Ma'am Ria, di ba? Okay na ba ang audio ko, ma'am? Wala na bang background ng
Yeah, wala
magandang
na.
palabas?
Oo, yes. Oo.
Ayan, so mega love shoutout to all of you, by the way. Ang early bird natin today is si Nathaniel and the rest from Team Helpful. And mega love shoutout, nakita ko po ang aking tita. Ayan, si Elsie Channel from Cavite po yan, Ma'am Ria. And Ma'am Kat, ayan, Happy Women's Month. Ayan. Si Pixie Dust, nandito rin siya, no? Si Pixie Dust, nag-shout po siya ng Team Helpful. And from Belgium pala siya, Ma'am Ria. Wow, ang taray ng viewers ni Ma'am Ria. May USA na, may pa-Belgium na ngayon.
Ayun.
Ayun, so,
Taray, oo.
ang taray, no? So, sa kahit saang sulok ng mundo yan, basta kaya nating i-invite yan, makakapunta din sila. Mega love shoutout pala kay Fishing and Travel. Ito ay
Ayan.
from ano
Oman.
yan, ma'am? Oma. So, ang
Yeah.
taray naman ng viewers natin. Thank you so much for tuning in and I hope you can still invite more from your friends and network of friends to tune in tonight kasi meron po tayong exciting na naman na guest na syempre mag-share ng kanyang journey and malay natin ang dami nating learnings na naman no makukuha sa kanya at the same time ay apply natin sa sarili natin. So I hope wag po kayo mag-hesitant na mag-invite ng ibang friendship natin dyan. And I would like also to remind you to please mag-shoutout po kayo ng name ninyo kung nasa Facebook live po kayo ng The Feminine Genius. Kasi po meron po tayong pa-attendance every Saturday po yan. So, by simply shouting hi and then with your name, kasama na po kayo sa attendance po. And that serves as your entry for the grand raffle po ni Dr. Ria Liza on December. So, bongga yan si ma'am. Plus, meron pong link na binababa po ngayon, no? Si The Feminine Genius and Dr. Ria Liza. And yan po ay para po sa pa-raffle niya for this month. Tama po ba ako, ma'am? Para sa mga gustong mag-wish po ng mga
Every week.
girls.
Mamaya
Yon, every week
mamimili
pala.
tayo.
Oo, every
Oo,
week pala
mamimili
itong link
tayo.
na ito, may mananalo. So, ganun siya kabongga, di ba? So, kung meron
Wish
kayong wish
fulfiller
pa,
natin yung guest natin.
yan. So, yung kung sino yung guest tonight, siya po yung magpo-fulfill ng wish. Kung sino yung mananalo po, no, na magwi-wish dyan sa link na yan. And hopefully, yung mga i-wish naman po natin ay hindi naman mahirapan din yung ating wish fulfiller. Baka house and lot naman yung i-wish ninyo siya. So, yung mga ano lang, yung date with ano, sa restaurant with your husband or date with your partner, pwede na yun siguro, ma'am. Pagkain. And, ayun. So, reminder lang para just to make your month, no, as a woman, happy para ma-fulfill natin yon. And I wish also
Mhm.
na huwag yung kalimutan pong i-click yung link na yan kasi meron po yung requirements, Ma'am Ria, right? Kung ano po yung may dapat gawin kayo dyan na susundin ninyo um, yung screenshots. Importante po yun na nag-subscribe kayo kay Dr. Ria Liza. Ayan. So, I hope uh, mag-invite din po tayo ng ibang friends and sa mga hindi pa po member dyan ni Ma'am Ria, baka naman, no? So, you can visit her vlogs or any video po. And then, at the bottom part of her video or sa pinaka-main channel po niya, if you click her name, if you search her name po sa YouTube, Dr. Ria Liza, makikita niyo po doon yung join button. You will click that and mamimili po kayo kung ano po ang um, perks or ano pong klaseng personality nagfi-fit ang inyong sarili dun sa kanyang pa-members. So, you have the right to select ano po yung mga character na pwede niyong piliin as your membership sa kanyang channel. So, ano po ba ang benefits pag naging member kayo kay Dr. Ria? Siyempre
Mhm.
marami, Ma'am Ria, di ba? You have an opportunity, of course, na maisama sa mga livelihood po na project ni Ma'am Ria. And syempre isa na diyan si Elawans. Kaya tulad ko nag-member ako kay Ma'am and the rest of yung mga friends na natin nandiyan na may color green po ang kanilang caption sa name. Members po yan ni Dr. Ria Liza. Ayan. So thank you po Ma'am Army Salazar for tuning in. Also kay ayan si Ma'am Kat every week. So every week na din po magfi-fill up po. Ma'am Ria, every week din po ba puwedeng mag-fill out paulit-ulit sila as long as hindi pa nananalo? Yes, Ma'am Kat. Ayan, gano'n po kabongga yung weekly natin this month. Sana laging gano'n. Alright. So, please, as always, dagdagan po natin ang pa-thumbs up po natin kay Dr. Yelisa by means of clicking the like button at the bottom part. And after a few minutes po, after at least 3 hours of watching her live streaming, please don't forget to subscribe, Dr. Ria Lisa. Siyempre, idamay niyo na rin si Anne and si Ella Wans. Anne, paki-shoutout pala yung channel mo, nakalimutan ko. Kasi alam ko hindi Anne yung pangalan mismo ng channel ni Anne. Pero
Ayan
meron
po,
siyang,
so hindi po,
yes.
my super boss name nung channel po.
Ayan. So, don't forget to subscribe, Dr. Ria Lisa, once again. My Super Boss, yan, channel ni Miss Anne, and of course, Ella Wants. And yung mga loyal viewers po namin, may channel po yan sila Ma'am Kat, and of course, sino ba yung mga nandito? Si Paulens TV. Siyempre si Fishing, si Jeannie, the Fishing Channel, and si Kathnel TV. Ayan. Mega love shoutout pala kay Mixed Videos and Vlogs by Mr. Phil and Sir Javier Centeno. And sa lahat po ng mga nandito ngayon, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope dagdagan pa natin na pag-invite ng mga friends para mas masaya po tayo. Back to you, Anne and Ma'am Ria.
Ayan po. So as usual, we will have a short game and have fun with our guests after the lecture. So it's a Pinoy Henya game, and we will ask the viewers to guess 5 significant words that our guest mentioned during the presentation. Gcash prizes will be given to the winners, and the amount is based on the number of viewers. So mag-invite na kayo ng mga friends nyo para mas dumami pa po yung viewers natin tonight. And Dr. Ria Liza has with Saturdays, and today is our episode 75. So please do not forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, like, and share. like, and share the YouTube channel of Dr. Ria Liza, Ella Wants, and my super boss. Also, feel free to write your questions on the comment section so our guests can answer afterwards. Miss Ella?
Yan. Thank you, Miss Anne. Once again, I would like to shout out na all of you na mga loyal viewers mo ni Dr. Elisa. I will now read your shout out also here in the chat box. We have magandang gabi po like that from Nathaniel. Mega love shout out to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for sending emojis like heart, beautiful harang. It means nag-play kayo sa commercial ni Ma'am Ria. Thank you so much for playing Harang. And also, thank you so much Fishing and Travel Adventure sa ating pa-angel dyan kay Dr. Ria. Mega love shoutout to all. Nag-shoutout po si host Dr. Ria Lisa and also the Feminine Genius sa Facebook. And Ma'am Kat, mega love shoutout to all po. Good eve po Ma'am Ria and Ma'am Ella. And of course, isama ko na si Miss Anne. Yun ba? LC Channel, mega love shoutout to all. And nandito pala si AdMax Engineering. Ayan, hello, sabi niya. And Kathniel TV from Team Helpful. Mega love shoutout Ma'am Ria. Mega love shoutout po Tita Elsie from Ma'am Kat. Hello everyone from Facebook user. Please don't forget to shout out your name para maisama kita sa attendance entry. And we have mega love shoutout to Nathaniel din, sabi ni Ma'am Kat. And to Miss Anne. Shout out po from Ma'am Kat. And mega love shout out Tambien Ma'am Kat from LC Channel. And Sir Javier, thank you for sending virtual hug. Clap hands from Ma'am Kat. Thank you so much. And sa lahat ng mga nandyan po na hindi ko nakita no, from Facebook Live, please don't forget po mag-tune in po tayo sa YouTube ni Ma'am Ria. All you have to do is visit YouTube channel and search Dr. Ria Liza. And then happy Women's Month. Shout out po ni Ma'am Kat. Thank you so much, Ma'am Kat. And Dr. Elisa has already dropped no, the link dun sa mga gustong mag-wish po na women na ipoprovide po yan. Kung sino yung mananalo, si guest po ang magpo-provide po ng kanyang wish. So, ang tawag po sa kanya ay Wish Fulfiller. And mega love shoutout po na kay Pixie Dust. Ayan. Ang wish doon ni Ma'am Kat, Ma'am Ria is trip to South Korea. Ayun, okay na po Ma'am Ella. Na-shoutout na niya yung wish niya. Pwede na ba yung ma'am, yung ganong klaseng wish? Hindi mo mabigat yun. And hi, mega love shoutout to all of you from Poland's TV.
Trip to Divisoria. May pa-shopping, di ba?
Ayan, Ma'am Kat, narinig mo si Ma'am Ria ha. Hanggang Divisoria lang daw ang kaya niya. Mega love shoutout Army. Ayan, thank you for tuning in. Also, thank you sa pa-member mo, Ma'am Army Salazar. Shoutout ni Nathaniel, may super boss po baka naman po. Ayan, huwag niyo pong kalimutan, no? Mag-subscribe din po kayo sa kanya. Maganda po yung content ng channel niya. Pixie Ella Vlog here. I am from Pixie Dust. Please don't forget to visit also Pixie Ella Vlog. Ayan, from Team Helpful. Wish ko na sanang mayroon laman Gcash ko para deduct ang Google na doon para sa membership doon niya kay Maria. Thank you sa pa-member LC channel. Fishing and Travel Adventure, and thank you for the good vibes and virtual hug. And Sir Javier for you get this and virtual hug. Thank you so much. And back to you, Ma'am Ria again, and Anne.
All right. So, madami tayong mga magiging viewers later na. All right. So, the time has come to introduce our guest for tonight. It's Women's Month and let us celebrate women. Welcome to today's episode, The Feminine Genius Meets the Servant Leader. With the theme, How Service to People Becomes a Way of Life for a Woman. This is Late Night with Dr. Ria Liza featuring Up Close and Personal with Chairwoman Lourdes Libora Sanvictores Papa. Of course, the Chairwoman of of my barangay, of our barangay, Barangay 605 Santa Mesa. Marisa Papa is on her 8 terms barangay chairmanship from 1989 to present, 30 years as of 2022, a graduate of entrepreneurship at the University of Santo Tomas. She is also into interior designing. In fact, she took interior design at the Philippine School of Interior Designing. And lately ko lang nalaman that she is a designer for special clothes such as wedding entourage. Also designs stone and shell crafted furnitures and as well as design cabinets. A mother, a punong barangay, a servant leader, a friend, a God's creation. Let us give our virtual applause to the empowered of Barangay 605, Chairwoman Marisa Papa. Ayan. I will put you on the center muna, ma'am. Ayan. Medyo naglo-load yata yung internet ni... Ayan. Magpasok tayo ng iba. Ayan. Hello, Chairwoman.
Hi, Professor, Dr. Ria. It's
Good
really
evening sa
a big
iyo.
deal, and
Good evening.
I'm so happy to be here because it's Women's
Good
Month. Good
evening
evening,
po.
everyone.
Yeah, you're so beautiful as
Good
always.
evening.
Good evening po. Ang ganda ni ma'am.
Ang ganda, di ba? Parang Espanyola na
That's like,
ano, Latina. Okay, ma'am, iiwan ka na muna namin dyan and the viewers are actually very excited to hear your story. So, the virtual floor is
we're kind of like choppy. We can't, can you hear me?
okay naman, ma'am, okay.
Good evening. Can I start now? Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, My name or my registered birth name is Lourdes Marisa Libora Sanvictores Papa. Married to a Tan and also for my second husband, Alichauco. I was born July 23, 1956, and right now I'm 65 years old. Raised by my loving parents, Felipe Neri Tolentino Papa and Clarita Madrid Sanvictores, I am the second from the eldest from a brood of 5 children. What I can say is somehow God planned my life. Let me tell you about my roller coaster life. The downs and the ups, the goods and the bads. Not everything is rosy, but a lot of it is victorious. Always believing that everything happens for a reason and purpose because I know that God planned my life. In the end, everything will be good because God is good. To start with, I grew up in a family business atmosphere where my parents and the sister of my dad, Tita Rosa, then manufactured Papa Banana Ketchup. Fresh from Sabah bananas and all natural ingredients were used. They exported other food products, bottled pickled papaya, shrimp paste like bagoong, chili, sauces, and all other things that they can export. But one thing is, they only offered what is best and what is healthiest. So I grew up to have that in mind. Always the best for other people. What is good for other people. No artificial preservatives. The only thing that we used then or they used then were salt, sugar, and vinegar. That was Papa Ketchup and the other products under the brand name Papa. Using Papa Ketchup before, that condiment is like having your daily dose of potassium nutrient dose because it's coming from fresh bananas. So that is the atmosphere where I grew up. Let me tell you about my childhood. My childhood days were memorable. It was full of care and pampering. I remember in 1963 when my parents went to Japan for like a month. We were left in Manila, but we were so surprised that there was a container van parking right in front of the house full of toys and things for us children. Yes, in a container van. So after they unloaded everything, our house looked like a department store. Well, I'm lucky to have awesome parents. Mom and dad were all the time there to help us, to rear us, and to really make our lives happy. I thank God for my parents. On Sundays, we spend, the first thing we do is spend our time inside church. We hear Mass every Sunday religiously. And then after the Mass, we're off to our picnics, we are off to our trips, and we go shopping. Mom and dad were always with us. So that's how I grew up. And what's important is demeanor in our family. Even if we were showered with love, care, and pampering, we were disciplined. A nod may mean yes, you may say something or greet our visitor, and a stare, sometimes stern stare, means you can get out, you can go back to your room, or you're not supposed to be here. Demeanor is important in our family, especially when having our meals and acting in front of VIPs and guests. This includes our appearance too, proper dressing, proper attire, and most especially, our proper conduct. As a child, I was quiet, timid, shy, and sometimes nervous. Um, I do not participate in oral recitation even if I know the answer in school. I do not play during recess or lunchtime. I was kind of introvert in a sense and usually take the back seat in any occasion. I just watch people. I would intently look and listen if they argue or quarrel, but I never gave my opinion as to who was right or wrong. I simply just watch people. In school dramas and plays, they would always choose me as Angel because there's no line to say. I will just only be there. And every year up to grade 4, I will be attending or they will get me as the Angel of San Miguel Arcangel procession at the Adamson University. That I cannot forget. Even the Spanish song, I still memorize it. So as long as there were no speaking lines, I would join the part and accept it. I am mentioning this because somehow there is a 180 degrees turn. Before, I don't like talks. Now, I have no choice. I am now full of I am now full of speaking lines. So, people around me in the 1960s, I was surrounded by diverse kinds of people. From the house, of course, parents, siblings, lolas, we have extended families, we have our nannies. Each and every kid, the five of us, we had nannies and the drivers. We had our employees and workers, really different people. We have to face also the visitors of my dad. Some are VIPs, some are foreigners because they're talking to exporters. And the funny thing was, every time we have to be with them, and if they are Japanese, we have to wear our Japanese costume. If they are Filipinos, then we have to wear our Filipiniana. And if they were like English speaking people, we're dressed up in our English attire. It was really fun, but that time we didn't know what it was. It was just fun for all of us. The diverse people in my life, practically and unknowingly, started to mold me to be a social being, where I learned how to read people's demeanor and even understand their varied personalities, as how I learned from my parents. Um, just listening and understanding were my baselines. Maybe because that's how things were then. And with a short background, spending my elementary and high school years at the Immaculate Heart of Mary College, run by the Daughters of Charity Nuns, actually strengthened my character, my faith in the Lord, the care for other people's need, because we used to go on missions, and in a quiet way, always in a quiet way, because we were taught how to help and have empathy towards the less privileged. So, ending my teenage years, everything seems happy and attainable and easy. Everything was good until the Philippines started to feel the pinch of the then corrupt government. Prices of commodities went up, wages went up, life condition was deteriorating, and all this, unfortunately, affected my father's Papa Banana Ketchup business. He was forced to sell the business and retire from the manufacturing industry, one of the healthiest condiments in the local and international market. I felt the downside that time, but life has to go on. Not as grandiose before, but still comfortable, joyful, somehow, and still privileged with lots of love from people around us, especially our parents. Okay, what was the first, I would like to say this, the first permanent change in my life? I spent my college years at the University of Santo Tomas as a commerce student and majored in entrepreneurship. In those 4 years, I spent my puppy love life with my fiancé, an architecture student who eventually became an architect named Louis Pelayo Abelio. I thought he'd be my forever partner in life, but I guess life is not that rosy until one fateful day on July 4, 1977, our happy beach outing snuffed off the life out of him. It was a freak accident. We were sitting on the marina of Tally Beach, a private resort in Batangas, when a big wave hit us and threw me into the sea. Architect Louis jumped to help and rescue me, but the waves battered both of us, throwing us to and fro the breakwater for almost half an hour. My brother and nearby gardener saved me, but the waves got him, and after a few hours, his body was found lifeless. It was not simply an experience, not just an experience. It erased my planned, foreseen future life, a total turnaround. I don't know what's going to happen next because I thought that was and he was my future. So, to fast forward and skip the dreadful sad part of my lovely love life, the next year, in 1978, I got married to Eric Tan, the nephew of the owner of Unimart supermarket in Green Hills, where he was the disciplined and responsible on the job training purchasing manager. A few months after the wedding, Eric and I stayed in Baguio City, where his father built Belian supermarket in order for him to manage. Unfortunately, he became a different person when we were in Baguio. From a disciplined and responsible manager to a lax and spoiled son. To cut the married story life short, the union lasted only for 3 years. But the best part was we begot three wonderful children. Richard Chester, married now to Stephanie Santos, and they have seven children. Ronald Carlton, owner and CEO of Philippine Property Central, a real estate company, is married to my wonderful Crisante Galang, and they have two children, Alodia and Africa. And my third child, Risha Claros, married to Joel, unfortunately. Joel already left this life because of aneurysm, and they have one daughter named Jamaica. She's the one staying with me now. And I also have a partner after several years. His name was Mandili Chauko. He just passed away a few years ago, and we begot a wonderful, beautiful daughter named Michaela. She's taking up now dentistry. So the big change of my life actually still made me maybe a stronger woman. The marriage breakup made me go back to my parents' house here in Santa Mesa, Barangay 605. Um, my second son and my youngest from my first marriage grew up with me. That's Tonton and Risha. So life was challenging, of course, but blessings were just coming. For always, I believe that God is my refuge. In 1983, I started designing clothes. And our in-house family dressmaker, Manang Lily Abadilla, did the sewing for my designs. That won the hearts of friends and referred me to prospective clients. And so a dress shop business was born. My designs actually flourished into wedding gowns and special occasion clothes, and it bloomed to cater off-size body shapes and became very popular to clients who cannot buy on the rack ready-to-wear clothes. My designs progressed to shoes, slippers, bag designs, and I got subcontractors to do my creation so that I will not handle too many workers and just concentrate on marketing the products. It's more of a hobby turned business with good returns. Later on, I got interested in interior design. So, I enrolled at the Philippine School of Interior Design in Makati for 1 year. I was not able to finish the 2 year course because an opportunity in exporting stone and shell crafted furnitures knocked at my door with my export trader friend Tito Pahang. I also catered to interior design architect Lord Calma and made some high-end furnitures for known personalities. I worked 10 to 16 hours a day, happily designing clothes, shoes, bags, furniture. I love to design. I did the purchasing for the clothes and the shoes in Divisoria, and for the furniture materials, I source them in different provinces because I use abalone, mother of pearls, jade, colored stones, and semi precious stones for my furniture. I also did some jewelries because the scrap coming from the materials of the furnitures were good for our jewelries. So I enjoyed my job. And there's one thing, export taught me that time is important, discipline, focus on the job, honesty, and quality. I remember one time the exporter told me, "Can you show me your product for export?" I said, I can just show you one product because I don't choose export and give it the best, and for my local I give the less. No. I said I only have one quality. It's the best quality for local and for export. Right away they gave me the order. So it was a profitable, manageable small business that made me not rich but comfortable, happy, and content in life. I love designing and I love to please people who love my design. So, as a solo parent, I was really working for my children because there's one thing I want to prove. I want to prove to my parents that I can stand on my own when it comes to rearing my children, to the schooling of my children, and to the needs of my children. That's why my parents were very happy to have me in their house. Not only did I support my children, but I would buy things for my parents, not that they need it, but they just love to receive something from me. And most importantly, I tried not to be a burden to them, but I became a willing, obedient leg worker, hugging arms of my parents and shoulder to lean on. I'm that kind of daughter, and I promise them that I will be with them in their journey to their old age. So, practically the first people I really, really served were my parents. Second, my children. Thirdly, my clients and the people around me. I believe that things really happen for a reason. How come I have so much ups and downs of my life, and at an early age I lost a fiance, and then my marriage, it was a broken marriage. So how come I have those? But I was lucky to have my business. I was lucky to have my parents back. So when you weigh things, look at the brighter side. It's a beautiful life. Then came this funny accidental candidacy. My father, back in Santa Mesa here, my father was actually the first barangay chairman. The first one was when he was appointed by Malacanang. That was in the 1970s. And then he was elected. He was elected in the first barangay election. That was sometime in 1982. So he was the first barangay chairman under the Batasang Pambansa 222. After 7 years, my father was running for his election bid. And during the filing of candidacy, that was the period when he was supposed to file, he got sick. And on the last day, he was still sick. So he requested me to file his COC in Comelec. So I did. Unfortunately, he did not have the ID photo, a requirement of the COMELEC. So his application or his COC was rejected. I called my father from COMELEC and told him what transpired. Outrightly, when I called him, he instructed me to file my own candidacy. Though hesitant and really reasoning out with my dad, I obediently submitted to his instructions. I completed the requirements in 15 minutes, like filling up the COC and a photo shoot for my own photo. Not my plan. I really believe somewhere, someone up there is planning my life. There were more than 10 candidates, in that first campaign period. They were all around the barangay, giving paraphernalia, posting their posters, and I was just at home in a quandary, a bit perplexed as to where my life will lead me. But I was holding on to my faith that God will help me. My mom was supportive of me to win the top post. She started to do our silent campaign, and we talked to the registered voters over phone. No street campaign, no poster, no caravan, no election watcher. So come the election day, March 28, 1989, a reluctant, nervous but obedient candidate face the plurality at large system elections. What does that mean? All of you will run as kagawad, and whoever garners the highest vote automatically becomes the Punong Barangay or Barangay Captain, as how they call it that time. And I garnered the highest votes and landed as Barangay Captain of Barangay 605. That was the start of my journey. I would like to say I owe my first election to my parents, for they were loved by our neighbors that somehow favored me. God actually maybe chose me. I don't know why, but at this point in time in my life, I could discern why. I praise God. Um, I would like to really remember some things that happened after that election. We were happy, but after a few months, just only after a few months, um, the property in front of our house, which was being rented out to a native handicraft business, they were exporters too, actually burned. And that was where the income of my father and mother was coming from at that time. So when it burned, uh, adjacent to that was actually a three-door apartment houses that was also gutted by fire. It was also owned by my dad. And luckily, a few months later, the friend of my dad introduced the owner of Ido Cosmetics, who was actually scouting for a property where they can rent. And they saw the place, but of course it was burned. But the location was very good, and so they gave a down payment, and my father started to rebuild uh, the burned warehouse. And it was such a blessing. Can you imagine? Someone would give you a down payment for you to again build your burned income earning property. But the three-door apartment houses was left burned and untouched because at that time my dad's financial standing was not that good because he already sold Papa Ketchup for several years, like more than a decade, and there was less money to rebuild the apartment houses. But again, God's blessings came. A barangay chairman friend of mine who is a civil engineer and a building contractor offered me a good deal. Build now, pay later scheme. Jubilantly, I informed my dad about my friend's offer to me. He said that he was happy for me to be offered a good deal and that it is all up to me to engage in this. So I did. I engage in this since I have my children to care for and that they are already growing up. I closed the deal with my friend and built six small apartment units where the former three-door apartments were located. Now, it dawned to me that if one builds his own reputation and integrity with hard work, honesty, and service to parents and other people, there is a door where the golden opportunities would automatically open because unseen hands up there move for you where his eyes sees your heart and his blessings pour. So I continued my business and at the same time served my barangay. After a couple of years, our house, my dad's house, again burned. Actually, that's the fourth times my father experienced fire in his lifetime. My father was devastated, of course, because he was already in his early 70s. And he said that he's not productive anymore. So, having no place, we lived in one of the apartment units I built. And obviously, it was not that comfortable, but it made it light because we were always joyous. There was peace. There was like understanding, and love was stronger. Adjacent to that four-door apartment unit was the PNR property, which my father used to rent and in the 1960s and in the 1970s. This time, I renewed the PNR lease contract and engaged another build now, pay later building contract with my friend. And I built an additional eight-door apartment units. This fire curse turned into blessings. Well, I just finished building the eight-door apartment when my father started feeling weak and the doctor said that he had cancer due to the stress he suffered when our house burned. The heartbreaking news was he only had 6 months to live. I was shattered. He was such a good man, a loving father, a good provider who tried to give us the best. We bond daily. He was such a pampering lolo to my children. He was a friend to me. My heart was breaking, but everyone has to cross over to see our Creator. Our God, well, actually, it happened May 1st of 1992. I have to submit to God's will, and the only thing that I really said was, Lord, thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve my parents. So, as I continued my life without my dad, who I called Wind Beneath My Wings, came May 9, 1994. That was the election day. So, I won the election, but this time it is now under the Local Government Code of 1991 or the Republic Act 7160. which means there is a change because the first election were 7 years. This time, under the local government code, it mandates that one term would only be 3 years and that you can only have a maximum of 3 terms or three re-elections or a total of 9 years to uh, to a specific position, like either you choose to be a chairman because it's not anymore election at large, so you have to run as chairman or kagawad. So that was it. Because of this implementation of the local government code, there was also this Liga ng mga Barangay, or the organization of all barangay chairmen of the Philippines. And one chapter would be the Manila chapter, wherein this is the organization for Punong Barangays of Manila. The director of the ILG then, Attorney Ruben Ramirez, oriented the Punong Barangays, and I was endorsed to run as Vice President of the first Liga ng mga barangay in Manila. Again, with God's graces and blessings, I won as Vice President. The position actually is so challenging but very, very fulfilling. My eyes were opened not exclusively for my barangay, but for the 897 barangays of the whole Manila, with, with diverse needs, strengths, and weaknesses. Very unique. Each barangay is very unique. This position is to serve and lead your co-chairman. Not easy because we have our own ideas of how we will lead our barangays. So, what I did was I put my heart to all matters of laws, duties, responsibilities that concern my new and big position as Vice President. I prayed for wisdom in all I do because this is the first time that I will handle heads of the smallest units of government, and I need the Lord to stay with me at all times. 3 years later, in 1997, again was an election. This time, it's the second under the local government code, but in my lifetime, it's my third election. And this time, I was unopposed, meaning no one ran against me. So, automatic, I was the barangay chairman again. There was such a mixed feeling when this happened. Why? Because as a lone candidate of our barangay, I felt elated because the community gave me such high respect and trust. At the same time, humbled and inspired to serve more. You know, when people give you that much, you owe it more to them. So being unopposed motivated me to work harder for the good of our community. On the other hand, I again won as Vice President of the Liga ng mga Barangay of Manila, and my co-chairman also appreciated my service and leadership. I realized that serving the barangay community and its organization well, with honesty and genuine concern for the stakeholders, will reap much respect and approval and accolade. In 1998, things were like getting different already because the barangay was evolving and there were a lot of things to do. But I looked at it as more things to learn, more things to serve, more opportunities that we can give people. So in year 2000, it was supposed to be a centennial election. The election was postponed for 2 more years, making the 1997 term 5 years. The new election schedule was July 15, 2002. And again, in my barangay, the same thing happened. I ran unopposed. Truly elating and invigorating. And under this local government code, it will be my third last term. Uh, in the Liga ng mga Barangay, I was again re-elected as vice president, and also it was my third term. Serving the constituents and serving the leaders of Manila was indeed very, very gratifying. Another changing event of my life was in the 2005 election was again postponed. So for 2 more years, making the 2002 a 5 year term, and the barangay constituents appealed that they also want me to be their punong barangay. So it was kind of difficult because it was my last term. I cannot anymore run. So how can I submit to the wishes of my constituents? Then came the elder constituents of our community. They advised me to run as kagawad in order for me not to violate the 3 consecutive term limit under the local government code. He said that the constituents agreed that no one will run as chairman and that they will make me top kagawad in order for me to assume the chairmanship position again. I was actually so touched and endeared to my constituents. They planned. They didn't want me to let go. And the elders even requested my daughter to run as chairman for the sake of keeping the position safe. And everything worked as they planned. So, my daughter and I filed the COC for Punong Barangay and Kagawad respectively. We both won the barangay elections as strategized by the community. After proclamation, my daughter resigned and served as government nurse at the Ospital ng Maynila. And then I assumed the Punong Barangay or chairmanship vacancy, and the constituents were happy that everything worked as planned. Again, not my plan. Somebody up there. The then Liga ng mga Barangay President, Jojo Beltran, resigned because we had like an extra 6 more months before the Liga election. So when he resigned, because he filed for candidacy as governor of Romblon, I automatically assumed the presidency of the Liga ng mga Barangay Manila chapter and acted as ex officio member of the city council or councilor in the city of Manila. It was a good 6 months. So my 6 months presidency and being a councilor was challenging and fulfilling. I was able to release on time the December funds of the 897 barangays. I proposed for the merging of the small barangays to follow the local government code requisite of a minimum of 5,000 inhabitants to create a barangay. I conducted several seminars because I believe so much in educating our officials. I did seminars for punong barangays, kagawad, secretaries, treasurers, lupon. And it was really very satisfying because you could see the growth in them. And I believe that this is my purpose to help those who need to be educated in order to say better, serve better the constituents. So, 3 years after, that was October 2010, I filed for chairmanship. This time, it now becomes the first term. So again, I ran as unopposed, and my actually my 2013 and 2018 were all unopposed. So right now, I am still the barangay chairman of Barangay 605, Zone 60, District 6, Manila. But in 2020, as we all know, was again a challenging year. As we endured the difficulty of COVID-19 pandemic that started in March, second week of March 2020. No one was actually prepared, not even the government. I cannot I cannot forget our president Duterte saying, bariling ko yung virus na yan. I mean, it was funny, but that simply shows that he wasn't also ready. Not even our DOH. But in our barangay, there's no such thing as not being ready. You have to be ready. And as a Girl Scout in my elementary years, I really tried to get all the things that I learned from Always Ready, and as a supportive and caring daughter to my parents, that molded me to actually do service to others. And what's important is my barangay council worked with me. We have also our barangay health worker, our tanon. Everybody is important. There's no such thing as low position or high position. In fact, the people from the ground, they're serving more. We are even facing people with COVID, but we do protocols of social distancing, putting masks, putting face shield. We try to eat the best. We try to take all the medicines possible and vitamins, because there's only one thing: we cannot stop serving our constituents. We have to face this. We have to put it to heart. We have to have this conviction and faith, and we pray publicly and jointly with our constituents using our public address system. Because without the Lord, these things will definitely be difficult, but not with us. In Barangay 605, we made it different. During that 2020, I called my I called people, and I requested one who actually volunteered to have a tali papa. I call it tali papa because I'm Chairman Papa. So we have a tali papa, and he would sell fresh vegetables, fruits, and anything from the market. We did that so that people will not leave the barangay. They can just order by phone. And we also appointed a carinderia, Beverly Carinderia, where she cooked so that people will not also go out and do their marketing, and they will not also be tiring themselves. So cook food and raw food, it's available in Barangay 605. That's because we do, together with my barangay council, the Kagawans, and the rest of the other barangay staff, we always brainstorm. Ano ba ang buhay? How is it when we can't go out? What's gonna happen? We cannot eat our money. Okay, fine. Just call us. Then we deliver. So it started that way. Things became light and easy. Then we have a condominium in our barangay. And the city started giving already ayuda, and at the same time some cash benefits. And apparently I heard that they will not include the condominiums. So I went Even if we're not yet allowed to go out, we went and talked with someone together with another kagawad, Emmer. We talked to one person from in City Hall, and we said that even condominium people also get hungry. These people also cannot go out. These people also get sick, same as the people on the landed area of the barangay. We fought for the uh, condominium constituents. And again, praise God, pinagbigyan kami. We were able to give what was given to the landed residents, we were able to give to our condominium residents too. What I learned in life, actually, especially this pandemic, you look at the brighter side. Be positive. It is difficult. I'm not a doctor, but I would listen to IATF every now and then. And during that time, we were the first to lock down not a barangay. I only locked down the unit or the address or the residence of where any positive person is living. That now makes it light for the barangay. They did not feel as if they were like jailed or in prison. But one thing with our constituents, they follow protocol. They never really just go out. They followed and they're so generous. Every day we receive food in the barangay. It's like having a party with just the staff of the barangay serving. Maybe if you are generous, also other people are generous to you. We did not feel that we got hungry or any member of the barangay got hungry. We were all supportive of each other. We were of service most of the time. So maybe this is how I live my life. God up there planned my life. If I have to discern, how come my marriage broke up? I was in the beautiful place, Baguio, so cool and so scenic. But I was brought back to my parents. Reason maybe because I have to take care of my parents. And most importantly, I have to learn from them. And from that, I have to take over my father to serve the barangay. So here I am, serving the barangay. Even my children, they are serving also, but they're not included in our official dom, and I'm not allowing them to run. It's only me. This is my last term. I will be ending my term this December 2022. So before I leave, I will be retiring. I'm 65 years old. I want the barangay to remember me. A legacy wherein I was able to lead with good example, with trust, with honesty, and most importantly, I did not go thinking that I'm up there. I'm just here to serve. But then I was also thinking, after my retirement from this barangay, what will I do? I don't want to be doing nothing. I'm not used to that. Every day I talk to people, every day I have work to do. It cannot be just chopped off. So I planned it now. Most probably I'll be enrolling in TESDA for whatever interesting course they have. I have to continue and I will try to choose the course that I can try also to empower other people. I will try to empower, aside from women, the younger generation. They need to have moral recovery. I cannot understand what's going on with the present situation of the younger ones, but I want to have moral recovery. I want to bring the Lord back to them. I want to teach them what will earn them money and not to be a burden, not to be a mendicant, but rather an independent, earning, and respectable person. So I guess that's just my life story. It's really 30, I'm on my 33rd year serving as barangay chairman. I think I'm the longest serving in the whole Philippines. And I enjoy it, first and foremost. I love doing it. I love the people. You know why? Because there's love coming back, there's respect coming back. I respect them. They respect me. I love them. They love me. That's it. So, I hope in this month of March, which is Women's Month, I was able to give an inspiration to most of our women viewers. I started from my younger years, my teenage life, my married life, my broken marriage. If you have to look at it, it's all a mold. It's you're being molded by somebody out there. So right now, I will end my talk, but still continue to be your barangay chairman. Thank you.
Chairman, grabe. It was a very wonderful journey that you have shared. Your journey was extraordinary, and you are such a tough woman. The way I listened to your story, my God, all of this roller coaster and all the love that you have shared and you got, simply amazing, Chairwoman. Talagang nakaka-heads up ka. Ngayon, Chairman, pahinga ka lang sandali for the next episode kasi is our question and answer, no? So
Oh,
madami na kasing
yes.
pumasok sa ating mga viewers. So mag-shout out muna tayo so that you can rest for a while. Okay po.
Okay. See you later.
Yun. Napakadami nating learnings, 'di ba, sa journey po ng ating guest and na-inspire po silang lahat. Lahat po kami na nakikinig kanina, naki-inspire kami. Ang daming mga magagandang statement po 'no na pumasok. And mega love shoutout po sa lahat ng viewers ni Dr. Ria Liza na nandiyan po hanggang ngayon po. Thank you so much for being so supportive po kay Dr. Ria Liza and sa kanyang live streaming every Saturday kasi iba-ibang guest po. Marami tayong natututunan sa bawat guest. So, by the way, ang dami pong pumasok ng mga bagong names. I think supporters po ito ni Ma'am Marisa. So, I would like to shout out na meron dito si Butch Jess Cardenas Liharno. Ayan. Lihano, thank you for inspiring us to lead and to serve our chairwoman. Ayan. Hello, chairwoman. Yan po yung shoutout niya. Ayun. And meron po ditong mga shoutouts po from Team Helpful. Sorry, hindi ko na siya mabasa masyado, no? Bagdoy Girls. Kasi ibang parang ano yan, marami siyang mga shoutouts dyan. And nandito rin si Risha Clay Rose Tan Mujica. Ayan, watching proudly. I'm always inspired by you, sabi niya. Ayan. And from Team Helpful po, si Kaunta by TV. Ang dami nilang pumasok. Isa-isahin ko dito sa attendance. Nandito po sila Chofi Hani, Sir Ronel Ramos, Emer Abiera, Sir Javier Centeno, and Happy DTV, si Butch Jess, ayan Lihano. Si Tanti Galang, may galang shoutout po sa inyo, Joy Doctor. Micaela Papa Lichao ko, ayan. Sorry, hindi ko na ma, ma, back read yung mga shoutouts nila kanina and nasa attendance kayo lahat. Also si Erlinda Cadillo na shoutout po kanina, Happy DTV from Team Helpful. Bagdoy Girls, Kathnil TV, Kauntabay TV, Risha, Kay Rose Tan Mojica, Camille's Vlog, ayan yung mga hello shoutout to all. Ayan po. And Meron po tayong love team dito 'no, na nag-shoutout po. Ayan si Tonton Papa TV, ayan sabi po niya, "I believe you deserve a statue for the longest consecutive serving public servant po in one position with integrity and love." Ayan, sabi ni Tonton Papa TV. Thank you for inspiring us. Ayan po yung shoutout po ni Butch Cheese Cardenas. Ayan po yung kanina na binasa ko. Ang ganda po ng sinabi niya. Ayan. So, thank you po for tuning in. And si Ian, hello po. Ayan. So, wow, so amazing sa guest for our chairwoman. Ayan, sabi ni Erlinda Cadilo. So, thank you so much sa mga shoutouts po ng ating viewers po, no? I hope so na magstay pa po kayo hanggang matapos ang episode ni Ma'am. Kasi meron pa po tayong exciting na Papinoy Henyo after the Q&A with the guest. So, stay tuned and listen. And back to you, Ma'am Ria and Anne.
All right. Yeah. Thank you sa lahat ng ating mga viewers. Again, happy National Women's Month for 2022. At syempre, ang ating unang pasabog, walang iba kundi ang anak ng may-ari ng Papa Ketchup, Marisa Papa. So, talagang actually nakaka-relate ako ng konti sa'yo, Chairwoman, because my lola is also a chairwoman in our place in Kalumpit, Bulacan. So, yung bata ako lumaki mga hearing, yung gano'n, di ba? Yung mga sinire-resolve na mga issues sa maliit pa ako. So, nakikita ko sila, yung may mga lupon sila, etc. No? So, that was exciting. Pero, bago tayo sa yung pagiging chairman mo, last portion of your life, no? Parang nahati siya into different portion. Umpisahan ko muna dun sa love story muna. Kasi nung una kami mong friendship ni Chairwoman, may senior siya sa akin, girls. Hindi niya ginagamit yung surname na niyang asan. Chairwoman, paki-explain nga itong mga babae na pwede niyang hindi gamitin yung apelido ng kanyang asawa.
Well, I'm using my Marisa Papa because that's my maiden name, my registered name. So I have to use that. And besides, here in Barangay 605, I'm not known as a tan because we stayed only married for 3 years, and we separated already. And I stayed in Baguio. So practically the neighbors actually do not know that I'm a tan. And parang ano lang yan, Isko Moreno. Dumagoso siya pero Moreno ang gamit niya. Ako naman, I'm using my real name. Marisa pa.
Yes, oo. Kaya actually ako, Chairwoman, nagtira kasi ako ng maiden name. I use in all my licenses. So example, my civil engineering license, my materials engineering license. Kasi ang katuwiran ko ay naging engineer ako dahil sa pangalan ko. Hindi ko So I have two ID. May dalawa ako set ng ID, yung isa naka maiden name, yung isa naka married name, no? Pero it was so interesting to note na I've also read about women who really prefer to retain their maiden name, and it is lawful, di ba? Lawful po yun, di ba? Hindi yun, yes. Hindi siya necessary, no? It's an option. Yeah, it's an option. Yes. So, and I think the option that you use was really very much ang tawag dito, advantages to yourself kasi nga nawala yung asawa mo, and then you're still single. Di ba? Okay.
Right now, still single.
Oh, yeah. Pero yung yung experience na makakita ka ng iyong partner na namatay in a beach beach resort. I haven't met kasi a person na talagang namatay na gano'n, no? What was the feeling? How old are you then? Back then?
I was only like 20, 19, 20, 19. In fact, I was turning 20, and knowing that that he's your future, because even the family, his family was like already our family. And then all of a sudden, it really just snapped off. Parang bang isang click na ganun, na bago lahat. And I was brought to Makati Medical. I didn't know that he was already dead. They found him lifeless, but there were a lot of photos. I don't want to show it na, but there were a lot of photos na he was already dead. And I didn't know at that time. I was in the hospital, and his parents were even going visiting me every day. So I really never thought that he was already at the Loyola uh, Memorial. He was dead. It was so dramatic. It was even in the newspaper actually during that time. And when I learned about his death, because we have to go to Loyola, it was like, am I watching my life story the wrong way? You cannot
Yeah.
really fathom. Parang iba. Parang hindi totoo. It's not true. It
Yes.
was only when I saw him in the casket when I said, this is it. So
So
maybe
that
our being religious and our being having some strong faith in God also made me really, really strong that there's an end to each and everyone's life. And I hope not in this present time, not none of my children, none of my loved ones, none of my good friends. Kasi ang hirap. Ang hirap.
yeah, I couldn't imagine at the age of 20, is he your your first love?
Now I can't remember. I had I had several suitors. I have several suitors and boyfriends, but he was really the one that I really concentrated on and planned my life on.
I was
The
asking kasi
other-
matagal kasi recovery from a true love di ba? Matagal 'yun
ah,
years 'yan eh.
Siguro nga, that's the reason also why all of a sudden, because it happened in 1977, then in 1978, because I had like some suitors, then I had my boyfriend after a year, then all of a sudden we got married, and maybe I still have the hang of comparison. Why was he like this and this present one is like this? So
Yeah.
it it was not good. It was not good. But maybe it was a planned separation, because what's good about the marriage, really, really, I have three beautiful children with them.
Yeah, that's true. By the way, we have already our 800 plus views in YouTube, and now we have around 100 in Facebook. So, uh, Chairwoman, it also, for a woman, no, to separate from a not so good relationship is also a tough decision, no? Because we know that most women would rather, make tiyaga, make martyr, be a martyr, and just for the sake of keeping the family intact, no? So actually, yung iyong yung iyong being a woman, tough woman, no, the decision, no, how was it during that time?
Well, probably it's because I have supported parents.
Yeah,
When I told them that I have decided to separate from my husband because of blah 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 reasons, my father said it's better that you stay with me. There were also some suitors asking me to, live in with them, promising again, promising houses or townhomes. But my dad said no. If you were able to separate from one whom you married, it can also happen to the next and maybe to the next, and your life will just not be good. So I followed my dad and I just stayed with him.
that was so nice, no? And then yung yung third mo na naging partner, namatay din, iniwan ka din.
Ano, but he's of age already. We stayed long,
Yeah.
Mandy. And you know the daughter, it's Micaela.
Yeah. Yeah, oo, no. Pero
Yeah.
talagang gano'n, no, parang nauunang you're the
He was
last alive.
women
So,
power.
yeah. So, wala ka ng plano. Kasi alam ko, ang dami may crush sa'yo eh.
And wala, right now, wala talaga akong plano because ang pinaplano ko, what's gonna be my next step after this barangay? Because barangay is practically half my life. I'm 65 years old now. I became a barangay chairman at the age of 32.
Yeah.
So that's half my life. And actually, my children grew up also as me, being a barangay chairperson already. And it's going to be a big change. The next chapter will definitely be maybe a quieter life, God, if God permits, and I would like to make it fruitful.
Yes. So, doon naman tayo sa pagiging relationship mo with your father, no? Actually, nanggaling ka sa, kumbaga, a big business, very good business. Of course, Papa Ketchup is, I mean, it's part of everyone's dish, eh, di ba? Yan talaga yung binibili natin. Kami we select talaga Papa Ketchup over the other, no? Pero imagine yung naranasan mo na sabihin natin, oh, very good life when you're in that business, and then the feeling of you have to sell the business, that is so devastating, tama ba? Napakahirap
Yes.
na na decision. Okay?
My
So,
father was really devastated.
yeah. So tough din yun. The decision to sell is also a tough decision, chairwoman, no?
Yeah.
But
My
then,
father was, actually, my father was afraid of loans. Siya yung taong ayaw, pag magkautang, alam niya that the business can survive. Pero ayaw niyang magpautang, and he taught us not to also go into loans. In fact, before he died, he said, I may not be a rich man, but one thing sure, wala akong ipapamanang utang.
yeah.
He said that in his deathbed.
I remember I talked also with a son of a businesswoman who is an inventor of type of steel, no? A type of steel. Lumaki din siya na nasa negosyo, etc. But chairwoman, no, yung kanyang mommy na nag-start ng business, no? Nung na-reach niya yung kanyang when she reached her aspirations, he stopped the business and sell it.
Ah,
Yeah, he sell it. Para kasi daw sa mommy niya, I've already reached what I want, and now I want a simple life, and then sell the company. It's a big manufacturer of steel construction materials. No? So talaga yatang, well, in a business, syempre, we can say kung may continuity ba to or not, no? Pero di ka nagtayo ng papa-ketchup when you're doing a business, and instead go into another field, nasa distinta.
actually, the businesses that I had were like a trial and error. It was more of a hobby. I love to design, and I like to have a finished work right away. My sister, the elder one, was into food technology, so she could have maybe started again another uh, ketchup manufacturing. In fact, my children now, they wanted to, but it seems like they're more into having a restaurant, and my son has a real estate business which is really flourishing in Baguio.
Yeah. Tsaka
So
yung kasi, no, chairwoman, yung word na papa, you can no longer use that because kasama sa pilihan yan, tama.
not anymore use as Papa Ketchup. But like, let's say I have a Papa Lechon or a Papa restaurant or a Papa Pizza or a Papa something, I can still use it because it's my family name.
Yeah, kasi ano eh, ring a bell kasi, 'di ba? So ang gandang i-use ulit for a rebranding. Tapos and then you said you're into furnitures and you're into schools place in your house, right?
Yeah, because during that time, I got into shellcraft and stonecraft, and this was like the designs of Europe. Wherein we uh, we make furnitures and cover it with abalone, mother of pearl, jade, semi-precious stones, and we export this. It's really beautiful to have one. It's a collection. It's kind of expensive. It's very difficult to sell it to the Philippines. I just stopped the business when one Chinese was asking me already to supply him with 20-footer mother of pearl every month. I said I can't do that because we will be destroying the uh, the the life of the sea. It's not anymore good. We only get the mother of pearls that are already matured.
Oh, yeah.
Just like
Pero
what I
that
said, my business is not really simply just earning the money, but it's more of enjoying my business and at the same time protecting the environment. I could be rich by now if maybe I submitted to that.
yeah, tama. Pero sana 'no, later baka may mga pictures ka diyan later i-show natin yung pictures ng mga furnitures mo if you still have those pictures. Siguro
In case,
mamaya, later,
uh, we'll try.
Yeah.
Because this month was a very hectic month for us. The ILG started to ask us to submit several papers. That's why the photos were not compiled. Sayang nga eh. And also, I want to show my family. They're so cute. They're so pretty, especially my apos. I have 10.
Ah, 10 apos.
Yeah.
Nagulat nga ako na 65 ka na eh. Kasi I cannot believe. So
I have
still, yeah, kasi
65.
siguro positive yung ayong ano mo eh, yung outlook. Tapos no, yung isa pa yung nangyari sa dad mo, yung ilang beses na sunugan, that was quite ang hirap din i-face noon, 'di ba? Is this twice nangyari?
4 times in his
Four
lifetime.
times.
When
Are
he
we
was
talking
single, when he was single, when he was working, and then 2 times in our time. Sabi
imagine
ko,
that 4 times.
yeah, hinahabol ng apoy.
Oo, no? So, may ganun palang tao, no? Na talagang parang, kasi iba-ibang lugar yan, right? We're talking
Oh
different
yes,
area.
iba-ibang lugar. Two in different parts of Tondo because my dad was from Tondo, and two different parts here in Santa Mesa or different properties in Santa Mesa.
Hindi ba dumating sa point na yung dad mo is pag nakarinig siya ng sirena ng fire truck, nagkakaroon na siya ng, parang nagkaroon na ng, ang tawag doon, takot, wala bang ganun? Or okay na siya?
Hindi naman namin napansin 'yun. In
and good
fact,
at, yeah, go
yes.
ahead po.
In fact, I only learned about the two fires in Tondo when our house burned here in Santa Mesa. All of a sudden, he said, bakit naman ganon? Pang-apat na sunog ko na to sa buhay ko.
Yeah, tama. And buti, no? And thank God, walang property lang ang nasusunog. It does not happen during the time na nalalak kayo sa loob or natutulog kayo.
Wala. God is really good. Wala. Wala namang ganon. In fact, that the two ones that I experienced with my dad, the two properties in Santa Mesa, I said it's like a curse turned blessing because when when the uh, when the properties burned, the first one, there was already this friend of my dad who referred him to the owner of Ido Cosmetics, who gave the down payment to actually rebuild the burned house. Then our property naman, the residence, it was my friend who offered me also to build naman the apartment houses that I have now. So I would say these things were actually now a blessing because the properties built out of the first two fires are now, in a way, helping us a lot. It's the source of income.
Yeah, actually, I have taken note of that. That when you said if you have the reputation and integrity, a door for golden opportunities will open. And precisely, no? Kasi it's not easy na makabangon na four times ka nasunugan, no? Hindi ganun kadali yon. So, was really, God is good to your family because you're able to stand up, no? After all those, ang tawag natin, no? Calamity ba tawag natin doon, no?
Yes,
Masyadong ano
it
yun,
is a
actually,
calamity.
mahirap. Yan. Yung iba nga, isang beses lang naranasan, parang gumuho na yung mundo nila eh. What more if you fell it four times? So talagang hindi simple yung ibinaturin sa inyo ni Lord, no, to make you more tough. And
Mhm.
you mentioned kanina about the time when you go for it's the permanent change. It's the permanent the time when you become a barangay chairman na. No?
Well,
Yun na ba
actually,
yung
I have
time?
like different angles of permanent changes in my life. One was when I lost my fiance. There was a permanent change. Two, of course, being a barangay chairman, how on earth will I know I will land as a servant of the people? It was never in my thought. I was like a simple, happy girl, enjoying what life is, always thinking of where to go next week for our vacation with my friends. That's just how life was. But, I really and truly believe that somebody is up there. And he planned my life. And it's just for me to know my purpose. It's just for me to see what I can do in order to fulfill and please the Lord.
And also, nung naging, naging barangay chairman ka, hindi ka dumaan sa pagkagagawad eh, di ba? You're directly uh, barangay chairman.
Yes.
So, yung,
Yes.
talagang yung na-experience mo when your dad was a barangay chairman, nagkaroon ka ng skills or the capability to act, no, to lead.
Well, at that time, iba kasi ibang-iba ang barangay before because there was no law that covers the barangay. During his time, it was more of who is known in the vicinity and who is respected in the community. So the first one was appointment by Malacanang. The second one, he ran. It was the first under BP 222, the first barangay election. So when I ran, I was still under BP 222. But you see, even the government then was not ready. The first election was you should run for a certain position. The second election was at large, meaning you have to run as kagawad and the highest pointer. Para bang nagtatry lang. The government was like trying what's good. Then finally, the local government code of 1991, at least it's a more professional kind of government. And that's where you can run only for 3 times consecutively and in the same position. So that's what happened to me. Uh, I ran for 3 consecutive, and when I was already some sort of retiring from it, our neighbors were really asking me to run again. So the elder one, who's more into law, said, Don't run as chairman because you will be violating the law. You run as kagawad. Then, after that, you can assume because none of us will be running. So we asked my daughter to just run for chairman in order to keep the position safe, as per their advice.
But your dad is the first barangay chairman in 605.
Yes. So ever since we have a barangay, it's already Papa family name.
I
My dad,
wonder, oo, ano po nung wala pang barangay use? Ano nung chairman yung dad mo? So, before that, ano meron, guys?
he was a business owner.
I mean, sa ano natin, sa ating smallest form of government. What do we have before when there's no barangay chairman? Was Philippines before?
No, barangay chairman have been there for the longest time. Even during the time of olden times na talaga, it's called balangay.
Balangay. Yeah, oo,
So
balangay nga. I remember in history.
there already was, but the modern people just during the time of Marcos, he wanted the barangay to be more professional, so they tried to have elections. At first, it was by appointment, and then they created the Batasang Pambansa 222 in order for the barangays to have election. It's now the people's choice, but the local government code of 1991 made it more professional.
Okay. So ikaw, sabi mo nga you're so elated that I think you are always a lone candidate and no one will ever dare. Parang hindi ko kayang banggain si Marisa, Papa. No one's there. So, paano yun? Chairwoman, are you already nagte-train ka na ba ng iyong parang protege? Siyempre,
Well,
ang
this
hirap
is
iwan, no? Di ba, Chairman? I mean, 33 years you'd have taken care of the barangay. By the way, I know it. I know the place is very safe, prosperous, no? Maganda, maganda lahat. So, hindi mo basta yan basta kumbaga, it's not easy to get a successor who'd be as tough as you are. So, paano to? May mga ginugroom ka na ba?
well, presently I have 7 kagawats, and equally I give them assignments. So for the person who does his thing correctly, that could be the next chairman. Because if you give everyone what they're supposed to do and the rest will not do it, and one or two would do it, then that would maybe be the next chairman.
So it will be a very tough position because there's always comparison. So of course, if there's a new for the longest time, no, 33 years, and then suddenly a new person will come in as a barangay chairman, there would be a big expectation. Masyadong challenging yun. And also, I have to ask, kasi sabi mo, you have the landed and the condominium, no? Wherein the landed, I mean, what's population is bigger? Is it the landed or the condominium?
The condominium, more people,
So in other
and
words, go ahead, po. Go ahead.
the landed, because the cut of the properties here are 200 square meters, 5 400, 600 square meters, and sometimes in that 600 there's only one family with maybe 4 or 5 people, and it's occupying such big space. Unlike in condominium, you have several units, 590s, I think. Sa times 3 na lang sa times 3 na lang, it's already 1,005. And down here, we were less than 1,000, or maybe a little more than 1,000. Pero in the condo, we have about 2,000 people.
Chairwoman, it's an advantage for a barangay if they have the condominium.
It is an advantage in a sense because it gives more income. We derive our income from the real property tax being paid by the property owner and also by the IRA based on the number of people living in the barangay. So the more people, we get a bigger share from the national government.
Okay. So, swertihan din, no? At there's the condominium built in our barangay.
Yeah, that's why I have to fight for them, you know. They're giving so much to the barangay, so we have to serve them well.
Speaking of serving that well, yes, the 2020 pandemic was really a big challenge, and I
Oh
salute,
yeah.
of course, your leadership for for doing all the things no possible to keep the barangay safe. I know the public address system. I just love it because in the midst of the ECQ, and then you can hear prayers, no? It's so ano kasi, alam mo nung 'di ba nung pandemic at tahimik, nakakabingi yung katahimikan sa buong Kamaynilaan, and then all you can hear are yung mga pagka-curfew na, 'di ba? No, nag-iingay na sila, and then I hear the prayers, no, and I hear siyempre naririnig namin yung mga announcement ninyo, and that gives us the sense na, oh, buhay buhay tayo. There's this barangay that's there working for us. Tama yung the prayer. Up here, the sound goes up, di ba? Very audible yung sound dito sa taas sa amin. And we
It's,
practically hear, yeah, we hear those prayers. And also, of course, kudos to the Tali Papa, and then the availability of what you call the raw food and the cooked food, no? And of course, alam naman namin how the barangay have supported us during the times when we had the COVID, no? When yung family namin ay nagkaroon ng positivity. Of course, you've supported us. Thank you for that. No? So this time, let's pass on the floor to Miss Anne.
hi, Anne.
And hello po. And po, so first of all, I would like to commend po yung mga shine po kanina, especially po yung kung paano naging strength niyo yung faith niyo kay God, especially nung mga sinulaga kayo ng challenges in life, lalo na po yung incident po and yung mga tragedy po sa life niyo. So, I guess yung story niyo po is really an inspiration for our viewers tonight. And if I would ask you po a question about strengthening your faith. So, how does mission strengthen a person's faith, especially in time of darkness?
You know, a person cannot just have faith. It has to start from childhood. Very seldom does it happen when a person would have faith in the older times or in the when they are already matured. What happened to me was I was taught in a Catholic school. I was all the time with the nuns. When we come home, we have our nightly rosary and Sunday masses. And at the same time, every time something would happen, they would tell us about the angel and the devil. So at a young age, we understand already that there is heaven and there is hell, there is angel, there is devil, and along the way in your life, it is now being applied. So I also listen to a lot of priests. We have Father Beltran. We have um, our Bishop Ambo, Bishop Pabilio, Bishop Tagle. We have Father Dave. We have even our parish priest here, Father June. You know, they have different interpretations of the gospel, but everything, everything can really touch you and make you strong. Of course, we have problems. Up to now, I have problem. I just didn't mention some of the problems that I have now. But because of the because of prayer and the belief in the Lord, the faith, it's like you'll not be shattered anymore because somebody is there. You always say that God is my rock, God is my refuge, and that I leave everything to Him. Even for other people with sickness, there was a time I was like having my own sickness. Then I say, no, I'm not sick because God will heal me. I just believe that. So I'm okay now. The heart's still, pounding.
Follow up ko lang saglit lang, Ana. You're a friend of Father Benigno Beltran?
I only listen to him. He's a very good. He's actually, I think, a teacher. There's this daily mass, and sometimes he's the uh, he's the celebrator, and he's very very good in teaching, and he loves the environment. I really
Yeah.
like.
Father Benigno Beltran is my good friend. Hello, Father Ben. And we've
Oh,
guested Father Ben twice. And I asked Father Ben to guest also in TPS. We're so good friend. Actually, I'll be helping him out in his Santiwaan Center for Learning in Smoky Mountain. He took care of Smoky Mountain for 30 long years.
yes, I heard that in some of his homilies. In fact, he's very inspiring,
Yeah.
and very knowledgeable.
True. Si Father Ben also working with me in a project at National University about the Philippine Sustainability Challenge. At saka, you know what, Chairwoman, when we he was our guest last Holy Week, last year. That time, I learned so much more about women empowerment. Ang galing ng tuwik niya, pagka-explain niya ng feminine genius, why there's women empowerment. Ang galing. And I carry over that lecture in all of the lectures
Uh-huh.
I had. And dadaling ko siya sa iyo minsan, Chairwoman. Tulungan mo kami sa kanyang
Yes.
Center for Learning. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yes. Okay, Anne. Go ahead, Anne.
Okay po. So another question po, Chairwoman Marisa. So as a leader, you have competitions around you and you also have your allies along with those competitions. So what would be your advice for the future leaders of our society?
For the future leaders, first of all, focus on yourself and listen to criticisms. You know why? When somebody criticizes you, there may be a lot of reasons. It could be true, first and foremost. Second, it could be just simply envy. Third, it could just be like a marites. It's just a chismis. But listen, do not fight. If you listen, check yourself. There may be some truth to it. Then change yourself. If and when they're just envious, well, forget about them. Close your door. If it's chismis, do a little listening. Again, there might be something true. And if it is a negative thing, correct yourself. Do not involve in any argument with negative people. That's just what I want to say. Always go with your allies. Always go with people who believe in you. And always go to people who are more educated, more learned, more knowledgeable than you, because it's from them that you will learn. Isang bilib ako, si Professor Dr. Ria. Hats off yan, saludo. Bilib ako.
Thank you. Yes, you have more
There's no
questions.
audio.
Okay.
Yes, po, I still have another question. So, we all know that our society, there is separation between the the state and the church. Pero 'di ba po na-share niyo kanina,
State and church.
Chairwoman Marisa, na yung foundation niyo po as a Catholic and yung faith niyo po kay God is, kumbaga yun yung naging instrument niyo for you to become coordinates niyo. So, kung ito pong darating na election, since, may mga controversies or mga misconceptions about po sa stand ng church and ng state. So, yung mga supporters po ng mga candidates natin for this coming election, do you think po ba na kailangan mas maging open-minded sila, or dapat po ba na kung ano lang po yung pinapaniwalaan nila?
Oh no. Just like what I said, education is important. Learn who's talking, learn who's running, learn his background. Because we are voting not for them, we're voting for ourselves. You were like about to say the separation of church and state. There is like, it's not really separation. The only separation that we can say here is the job, the work, the responsibilities. But when it comes to choosing, the church has to be there to teach us. And the church has to teach us that the person that we have to choose must be of high morals, must be trusted, must be honest, all this. So hindi talaga pwede mas-separate yan. Even naman in our constitution, may bandang huli, may sasabihin, so help me God. Kasama pa rin talaga yan. Hindi yan mapaghihiwalay. And even during the time of Jesus, if I may be out of a little ha, Jesus was actually considered a political enemy of the Pharisees and of the kings, no? And even the governors. If you have to really go, I will not touch on that because it's a long story. But there was already politics during the time of Jesus. Kaya nga siya pinako kasi natakot sa kanya yung matatanggal sa pwesto. Akala siya yung king.
And that's all.
Okay. So maybe I just want to close, no, Ria, Doctor? Maybe
No, not
my
yet
last
po.
sharing would be
Uh,
I
Chairwoman,
being a servant
it's
leader.
Chairwoman,
Ay,
it's
hindi pa ba tayo?
the turn
Yeah.
of Ella. The turn of
Slow lang
Ella.
pala.
Oh, medyo ano lang yung connection ni Anne, medyo mabagal. Yes, Ella.
Ayan.
Oh,
Hello
okay.
po,
Hi,
good
Ella.
evening, Chairwoman, Ma'am Marisa. Ayan. Actually, I have to go directly with the magic question, Ma'am Ria. Um, my first question po for you, ma'am, is may we know also who is your hero or idol or mentor or someone you mirror your life with?
Uh, Maybe I have no idol or hero. It's more of I'm actually learning from different persons. No specific one. In the morning, I would get I have some reading materials. I would check on a strong woman also, Mother Teresa. I would also listen to different homilies. Then I would also listen to ordinary people around. I pick up what's good in them because iba-iba talaga eh. No specific idol, no specific person to look up to. Even my parents, I would say, there are the goods and the bads, and there are strength and weaknesses. And I actually
Nag-loading ba ako, Ma'am Ria? Ayan, akala ko ako yung nag-loading kasi mahina ang net namin kanina pa. Ayan, so medyo na-DC lang po si Ma'am. Ayan na po siya, ayan.
yeah. So that's my
Alright.
answer. No specific. I have no
Opo.
specific idol. I
Thank you
really
po.
get from people.
Thank you po for letting us know na wala po kayong nilu-look up. Pero, 'yun nabanggit niyo po si Mother Teresa kasi isa 'yun sa mga talaga pong may opo, napakagandang may nagawa, ayan. Kaya siya naging
What I like in her, matapang siya. Matapang siya.
opo. So, kayo din po 'no, sobrang gano'n din po ang nakita namin sa inyo. You are a fighter, a strong woman, and napakabait ng personality. And, I would like to also know or ask, um, if you have, best project ma'am na nagawa. Kasi as a chairwoman, siyempre napakarami pong mga project 'yan na ginagawa. Ano po yung best project po? Puwede pong, hindi material po ang sasagot niyo. It depends on you po. Ano po yung kinonsider niyo pong best project?
Okay. The budget of the barangay is small. Why? Because Manila is wrongly cut. According to our government code, we're supposed to have the least 5,000 inhabitants in one barangay. If you notice, sa Manila, dalawang two corners is another barangay or three corners. While it should be like, for example, Quezon City, it's so big they only have 144 barangays compared to our 897. Natanggal na yung Smoky Mountain, naging 896. Still ang dami. So what's happening is nahahati yung pera sa sweldo naming mga opisyal at sa mga staff ng bawat barangay. If we have when I was then the president of the Liga ng mga Barangay in 2007 as ex officio member of the City Council of Manila, I actually proposed to merge the barangay, lessen the number, make a barangay bigger so that there will be more funds, more fruitful projects. Now you're asking me what project did I do good in my barangay? One, I actually have street lights because before here
Wow.
in barangay it was so dark and the lamps were really really far. Hold-ups were left and right, especially for the people coming home late. So what I did
Mhm.
was I put about 60 or 65 lamp posts. That's one. Then during the pandemic, we see to it that we serve not only we see to it that our senior citizens, our solo parents, our PWD, and even the regular families of the barangay would receive something from us. And
Oh,
most of all, what's also important is to teach by example. I try not to indulge in a lot of um, fights, no fight at all. I try to do that. Even if sometimes you get criticisms already, like what I said earlier, listen, check yourself, then change and improve. Projects,
wow.
just during this pandemic, we have a lot. Of course, the ayuda thing. Those are just simple ones, painting of the I painted our sidewalk green in order to have a lively outlook in life. It's really beautiful, green with yellow gutter. It
All right.
uplifts
Ang
one's
galing.
yeah, it's beautiful. It uplifts one's spirit and lighted. Every Christmas we have beautiful paroles in our vicinity in order to make the people feel happy. That's just the important thing. Please people, serve
Wow.
them.
Alright, thank you once again po dun sa inyong napaka-nice na answer. Sabi nga po ni Ma'am Kat, ang ganda ng mga binibitawan na advices ni Ma'am Chairwoman, ayan. So siyempre masuwerte po yung mga nasasako po ninyo sa barangay ninyo kasi kumbaga na na-e-enjoy nila yung service po ninyo 'no, as a chairwoman. And I have another question po, ma'am. Do you have any regrets in life?
Regrets. You know, when you reach this stage of mine, I'm 65 years old now. The what I thought regrets were not actually regrets. They were just like maybe lessons learned. If I would regret why did I go to that swimming party, then I lost my fiance, that could be a regret. No, maybe God just wants to change my life. Then again, what regret? Kasi ang hirap mag-isip ng regret if you're positive.
Tama po.
Uh,
Yun.
mahirap kasi you want to all the time just leave behind what's negative, go forward, enjoy the
Tama
people
po.
around. May nabasa ko, it says that if there's anybody giving you a hard time, just close the door. Tama
Wow.
naman.
Opo. Ma'am,
Just
ang
close the
ganda ng
door.
sinabi ni Ma'am. Parang yun ang
Ayan na.
takeaways ko, Ma'am
Oo.
Maria.
Oh, oh, yun ang gawin natin
Ayan.
Yeah, it really takes a tough woman to do that Kasi ang mga woman kasi parang sobrang, alam mo yon yung weak pagdating sa
Oo.
emotions, no? Sana maging ganun din tayo, Ella.
Oo.
Siyempre,
Siyempre
meron
kaya
din mga hurting moments, pero you try to be as logical and then talk to good people. Like right now, there are things happening in my life, but I talk to my son, I talk to my daughters, I talk to my daughter-in-law, I talk to good people, I talk to my friends who are all positive.
ayun,
Then
actually opo.
I really listen to the advices or even hindi nga ako kilala nung pare, nanonood lang ako pero akala ko kinakausap ako eh. Kasi, I don't know, it's happening. Na-mention ko nga si Father Beltran, ang dami talaga niya. Even Bishop Ambo and Father Dave, Father Pabilio or Bishop Pabilio, all these people, they're all around me without them knowing. I listen to them. It makes me tougher. Kasi siguro, yun ang paniniwala ko at ang paniniwala mo ay yung pagkatao mo na. It makes you, your belief makes you. Pag naniwala
Okay.
kang negative lahat, ay nako, bagsak ka na rin.
Opo. So actually, sabi ni Elsie Channel, done din po siya sa gano'n, Ma'am Ria. Yung ginawa yung sinabi ni Ma'am ni Chairwoman. Dun gano'n din po ang naging experience niya. Ayun. So, talagang nakaka-inspire po si Chairwoman, Ma'am Marisa. And back to you, Ann. May question din po si Ann. Additional questions po.
Ayan po. So for the additional questions po, what is your best and most significant investment in life?
Best and most significant investment in life? Well, in I can't say it's an investment in terms of financial. Then maybe if it's financial, then I will say jewelries, no? But my investment in life are actually the people around me. It's not really material. When you have so many good people around you, they are they are the ones that will lift you. Not only as a barangay chairman, because like I'll be ending my term, but the people I met along the way, I will keep them as my investment. Because when you have these people, you will still learn from them. And I will not stop. I will still go on. I would like to meet more people because I believe they can teach me and it can make me a whole person. So I invested maybe on my children, their studies, and I am so proud of them now. In fact, sometimes if I am the light of the house, they are actually my post. They are the structure of my life. Kasi wala na akong wala naman akong naging partner na. One, maagang nahiwalay. The second one, nawala. Namatay na. So, my children are there. When it comes to investment, money is just money. It goes. Enjoy your money. Do not work for your money. Let the money work for you. Enjoy your money. But what you have to invest on are actually people around you. Kasi if I will have to say talaga investment on material side, what is it? Jewelries because I love them. Um, the bags. Pero hindi yun eh. That's not investment. Your investment, and don't look at me. I have friends who are rich. No. You learn a lot from ordinary people. Oh my God. I just love them. They teach me way of life. They make me strong because they are the stronger people. Dami nilang naturo na sa akin. Walang mayaman, walang mahirap. It's more of good person, good people. Pag medyo bad, again, close the door. Pag
Ayan po.
nanunugod,
So,
slam the
another
door.
question. Ay,
Yes.
ayan po. So, another question po. What else do you want to achieve or what else remains undone?
Okay, what do I want to achieve? I'll be ending my long stand with barangay, my service. It's only the position that will stop. It's only the position that I will not have. But the service will go on. Just like what I said, most probably I'll go to TESDA, see what they have, and maybe if I learn from TESDA, I will be sharing this to others. I'll go back to my alma mater, the Immaculate Heart of Mary College, and see what I can do in helping also the poor communities that they are handling. And I can also go to Baguio because my daughter-in-law and my son, Tonton and Tante, they started Bartek during the pandemic. And Bartek is like our community pantry. But it's more than a community pantry because they also do helps. They also refer some employment to other people. My son, being the owner of Jipito, is also making other people happy with his creation of Jipito and Tank House in Baguio. So, my daughter from Qatar maybe would be coming and helping us also. These are the things. And my youngest, who is taking up now dentistry, she told me that 5 days, 5 days of her week will be her pay services, and she will do 2 days of charity work. So these are the things that we have to do. Mahihinto lang, or the only thing that will stop is my position. I will go on. I will continue. It's wonderful serving
I
people.
love your idea po na babalik po kayo.
Babalik
Ayan po.
ako.
So, I love the idea po na babalik po kayo sa alma mater niyo po. Yes po. Knowing na ang community ng Daughters of Charity and Congregation of Mission is malaki po talaga siya.
Yes. Talagang maraming tutulungan. At saka hindi lang tulong yan sa pera ha. What's
Yes
important
po.
is we
Lalo
have
na
to
po
give
ngayon,
them,
may mga opo.
yeah, we have to teach them moral recovery. Marami ng bata kasi maski mga magulang, yung mga nanay, wala ng moral. Kasi nakikita lang nila uso, nakikita lang nila kasi in ito sa ganitong country, wala ng moral. I really am so sad when I see in the news that the mothers are selling their very young kids online. Wala nang moralidad yun. Ang gusto na lang nila easy money. So we have to teach them how to earn money the right way.
Yes po, may mga programs po na nila-launch ngayon yung Daughters of Charity and Congregation of Mission along with Children of Mary po, which is an association connected to them po. So siguro kung darating man po yung time na talagang makakapag-come up po kayo with a great plan po for parang mga programs po for the benefit of the young children na maging ano po sila, kumbaga guided pa din po sila kahit na may lack po ng supervision ng parents.
You talked about COM, Children of
Okay po,
Mary.
last question po.
I am a Children of Mary member. I still have my
Yes po.
I
I
still have
am
my
din po.
miraculous medal.
Full pledge po.
During the time in Immaculate, we were active. But of course, when you're out of the school, it's not anymore part of your life. But whatever it taught you, it's instilled in you. So after my being a barangay chairman, most probably I'll be going back to Sister to do the COM.
I think na-disconnect
Nawala
si...
po ata si Chairwoman.
Ayan, ayan. Okay, so andyan po yung link kung saan kayo ay pwedeng maglagay na iyong mga wishes, no? Yung mga wishes na makatotohanan, guys, ha? Yung mga ano lang, simple wishes that will make you happy. Ayun na si Chelsea. Yan. So, I think, Anne, you still have a question or is... Yeah.
I didn't get the
Mabagal.
question. Was there a question?
Medyo mabagal lang ng konting internet ni Anne. Yes, Anne?
Naputol po kayo doon sa you will go back po to the series.
Hello, Anne. Hindi yata na-capture ni Ma'am.
Oh,
Lag din yata yung internet ni Anne.
Kay Ma'am Marisa, naputol po kayo doon po.
You can proceed with the next question.
Okay.
So, yung question na...
Nag-loading po yung kay Ma'am Marisa po.
So, Anne, for your next question,
And po, so for my next question, if you are not who you are right now, then what would you be?
parang hindi rin na clear kay ano na question. Chairwoman, narinig niyo po yung question ni Anne? Tama ba yung dinig ko? And if you are not who you are right now, who would you be? Yun ba yun? Anne?
Yes po. Yes po. Yes po.
Well, if I am not a barangay chairman right now, am I still Marisa Papa? If I'm still, if still it's Marisa Papa who's not a barangay chairman right now, most probably I'll be continuing my designs. Most probably I will be uh, creating more clothes and bags when I'm not in public service.
Yes. So talagang nasa dugo mo yung negosyante. Yes, Anne, more question, Anne? Medyo mabagal yung internet ni Anne.
I have no further questions na po. I guess si Miss Ella po merong question.
Ayan, I have a question po, ah, Ma'am Marisa, ayan. So, actually ito yung hinihintay talaga namin 'no. Um, Ma'am Marisa, how can you help the feminine genius advocacy of Dr. Ria Liza?
Yeah. How can I help? Just tell me how I can help.
Ayan.
I will try to help to the best of my ability and my capacity. Just tell me how I can help. Because I really, I can't say that I can do this or I can do that. But if you ask me, then I will try to do it. Isa yan sa idol ko, si Dr. Lisa. Ria.
Thank you so much,
Gusto ko ba?
Chair. Ano
Yeah.
yan, recorded na yan forever and ever na nasa YouTube na yung video natin. And I know naman that this will really be helping if we just call you, no? Especially pag nawala na yung COVID and we start reaching out to the community of women. Salamat, Chairwoman. So, that was the last question of Ella. For now po, we go to Pinoy Henyo. Dito sa private chat natin, you can chat 5 significant words that you significantly mentioned or repetitively mentioned during your discussion. 5 words na pahuhulaan natin and you will also be the one to give the clue on those 5 words. Sige lang po, Chairwoman, sulat ka lang po dyan ng 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words habang nagsha-shout out ulit si Ella ng ating mga viewers. Yes, Ella?
Ayan, thank you Ma'am Ria. So finally, ayan, nasa point na po tayo na going on the Pinoy Henyo na po. Kaya stay tuned and get your notes. Yung mga cum laude dyan na talagang nakinig kanina, for sure, no, nagno-notes yan sila ng mga takeaways nila. So pakopya na lang Ma'am Kat ha. And syempre nandiyan si Nathaniel din. Ako, magaling din yan. Mega love shoutout po sa lahat ng mga viewers po. Once again, na very thankful po kami ni Dr. Yalisa and Miss Anne na you're all here tonight. Napakarami nila, no, Ma'am Maria. Napakarami ng viewers ni Ma'am Maria right now. 100, tama ba ako? 100 something? Sa YouTube pa lang yan, if I'm not
Actually,
mistaken.
we've already reached 1,200 views.
Wow! So, iba ang charisma po ng ating chairwoman, siyempre. And sa lahat po ng nagsha-shoutout po sa The Feminine Genius Live, via Facebook, please don't forget to shout out your name. Ayan, si Tita Centeno, nandiyan yan for sure. And then, Si Kurt hindi ko siya napansin 'no, pero malay natin nasa Facebook Live lang po siya and nanonood. Ayan, meron pong bago akong nakitang name 'no, si Emer Abiera, ayan. Ah, nag-shoutout po siya kanina, Pixie Dast and,
Ano yon? Si Kagawad yon. Kagawad
siya ba yun?
Emer.
Siya ba yung okey. Ayan, and then, si Kagawad pala yun and we have
Shout out kasi si Kagawad Emer and some of our friends are watching in one room. Kaya ang bilang
oh,
ng views nila isa lang. Hello, hello, Shalom, hello, Vivian, hello, Emer. Hello, hello.
ayun.
Ay, siya.
Ayun. So, big enough shoutout to all of you. Ayan, please don't forget to shoutout your name if you are watching via Facebook Live ng The Feminine Genius. And I hope so you will transfer po sa YouTube channel ni Dr. Ria Liza kasi mas nakakount po yung views ninyo kapag nasa channel kayo mismo ng YouTube ni Dr. Ria Liza. All you have to do is proceed on www.youtube.com and then search Dr. Ria Liza. And you can shout out your statement here and reactions po dito sa live chat. And you can participate po sa ating Pinoy Hemulator wherein syempre bonggang-bonggang ano yan, pamamahagi ng ating host na si Dr. Yaliza. Big love shoutout po kay Esperida Nathaniel. Ayan, may mga comments siya kanina, no? So, once a com, always a com, sabi niya. Yung com, tondo unit daw. Heart-heart po siya. And, sabi ni Ma'am Kat, di ako nakapag-notes po, ma'am, na busy daw siya kay Pollens, kay Pauling. And may galaw shoutout kay Kathnel TV, Mia Ordonia, Kathnel TV from Team Helpful, and LC Channel, ayan, and sa lahat ng mga nandito kanina, no, actually nandito si DJ Heartbeats PH1, ayan, and Chofi Honey, nawala na si Chofi, parang naging busy na rin yata. And Sir Ronel Ramos. Shoutout ko lang din po ma'am ha. Actually, hindi lang sila nag-shoutout sa live chat. Yung mga future panel po ma'am ng Journal Defense na invited po. Na-invite ko sila. Actually, may mga screenshot po silang sinend sa akin. Shoutout po kay
Hello sa
Dr.
inyo.
Yung mga DIT classmates ko dyan na future doctors po. The Dean of LSPU, si Ma'am Ren. And my
Good evening,
DIT
team.
classmate po si Sir Francis po from UST. Mega love shoutout po sa inyong lahat. Thank you for tuning in, Ma'am and Sir.
Thank you.
And syempre si Sir Ronel Ramos. Back to you, Ma'am Ria, and of course, Miss Anne.
So I think, Chairwoman, hindi ka pa nakaselect ka na ba ng 5 words na pahuhulaan? Sa chat mo ba binigay sa akin or
Okay, yeah. Yes.
nasa chat? Teka, check ko lang.
Ibibigay sa'yo. Okay.
You have to
Sige.
you have to
I will.
Pero pwede mo ring pwedeng hindi rin, pero ikaw magsasabi kung tama o hindi yung
I wrote it down in paper.
sige, okay lang 'yan. Chairwoman, okay lang 'yan. Okay, so lahat kami hindi
Okay. No,
hindi
it's
nakakita ng word. So pwede kami manghula. Chairwoman, pwede na kami humula kasi hindi namin nakita yung sagot. Okay. So, number 1 word, Chairwoman, bibigay ka ng clue, 6 seconds delayed from StreamYard to YouTube and another 6 seconds to to Facebook. Mas delay si Facebook, no? So, okay, first word, Chairwoman, ano yung clue? Na-disconnect si Chairwoman. So, thank you sa lahat ng mga nanonood sa atin na magiging panel sa ating defense or demo day on Wednesday. Thank you din sa... Ayan. Okay. So, first word po, Chairwoman. Clue. Okay, clue for the first word.
Being cut off.
Anong clue for the first word?
The clue. What's happening? Given by God.
Medyo madali yun. Yes? 6 seconds delay. Have you heard the clue? Given by God. Ayun. Nawawala si Ma. Okay, Chairwoman, we have the first answer. Ito. Correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's
Blessings.
correct.
Yes, blessings.
Congratulations, Nathaniel. Okay, word
So
number
that's
2.
Esperida Nathaniel Victor.
Ah,
The
word
one
number
I
2.
call the wind beneath my wings.
The wind beneath my
The one I
wings.
called the wind beneath my wings.
Oh, yun. Teka lang. May mga nauna. I'm sorry, ang dami na palang sagot. Teka lang. The
I would
first
say yes.
correct
Father.
answer is dad. Okay na to, no? Ma'am Kat. Oh, dad. Tama. Okay. Alright. Word number 3.
Okay. Number 3. What I do in the barangay.
Oh. Here. Madami. Pero ito yata yung nauna. So, this is correct?
Again, yes, correct. Service.
Yeah. Daniel, actually madami silang tama, kaya lang first, kailangan mabilis ang internet. Number 4.
Number 4. What I do to bad people. you
The same words dapat. Same words. Ito isa.
Ang galing. Siya ulit.
There is, pero magkaiba kasi. So,
Yeah,
who's the
close
winner? The shut the door or the close the door?
Actually, I, I think I used the word close the door.
Close the door. So, close the door is Ma'am Kat. Actually, madaming sumagot ng close the door. Silang dalawa lang pala. Shut the door and close the door. Okay. Word number 5. Di ba mabagal yung internet? Si Elsie mabagal eh. Pag sumagot, tama yung sagot mo, Elsie, kaya lang matagal dumating. Number 5.
What I always do, I look at the blank side of life.
Go, go. Pabilisan na internet. Ayun. Positive. Okay. Madami rin. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yes,
Okay.
correct.
So, positive. So, ang correct answer is team helpful supporter. Yan. So there you have it, the 5 awards. Okay, so congratulations to all the winners. And now, uh, Chairwoman, kasi hindi namin pinapaalis yung guest ng walang patikim na talent. Talent portion tayo. So, um, pwede mo
Oh
ba
my
kami
God.
bigyan ng talent dyan? Either sasayaw ka ba, kakanta, tutula, ano ba gusto mo na gawin? Mag-instant design ka ba dyan ng isang furniture? Ano yung, or kanta
Parang wala ako
siguro?
nun ah.
Guys, ano gusto niyong gawin ni Chairwoman na talent?
Oh, siguro, OMG, wala ako nun eh. Wala, yun yata ang wala ako. Cannot sing. Tagal pa eh. Um,
TikTok,
oh my gosh.
pwede. TikTok.
Siguro may talent to ano lang, to advice. Oh my Hindi ako nagti-TikTok.
Laban ta TikTok dyan.
Oh well, lakasan ng loob at lapasan ng loob at tsaka kapalan ng muka. What am I gonna sing?
Ang flex daw yung mga nagawa mong designs.
Rainbow.
Oh gosh. Ha? No, I used to do a lot of designing before talaga. I can't count anymore the weddings I did. And make big people look sexy. That's why I have yung mga off-body designs before. Those
Ayan, paro-paro G. Ayun, madali yung paro-paro G, di ba? Ako ba'y nawala o si Chairwoman? Ayan. Ayan.
oh, I know what to say. I know what to say now.
Okay.
Kagawad BJ just reminded me what talent. I was invited to be a ninang in one kasal, in a wedding. And supposedly, the theme was supposed to be blue. So, when they called me a week prior to wedding, they were checking, are you ready with your blue attire? Oh, yeah, I said, I bought already my maong. What? They said, what? This is a formal and special wedding. Why are you wearing maong? You know me, I love maong. That's what I said. So came the day, and all the family members of the bride and groom were like, my car was coming, and they all were around it. And of course, I came out wearing maong. But my maong was in a Filipiniana. I designed a Filipiniana maong, and it was denim. And then I incorporated an Italian cloth that really looks so dignified and elegant. Actually, I think it was a standout during that night. So that's my talent. Sometimes I go off bit, but it's my talent. They're right there. BJ actually reminded me because it was a big thing. It was like uh, the family of both bride and groom were like, oh my God, she's going to wear maong and we cannot stop her. They thought I'm gonna do a Levi's thing. No, I came
Do you
in a
have a picture of
Filipiniana
that?
made of denim and Italian cloth.
Do you have a picture of that?
Naku, wala na dito eh. Kasi sayang, no?
So, kung wala
Siguro
yun,
next time. I don't know how to do. Sabi ko nga, I need somebody by the name of Philip.
so pwedeng dahil walang picture, dapat ka na talaga kumanta. Kailangan ka na talaga kumanta. No choice
Okay,
ka
I'll
na,
sing just so,
kapitana. Opo.
Pipilitin ko ha. Kapalan ng mukha na to. I'm back on dry land once again. Opportunity awaits me like a ride in the rain. We're all hands and honey with money to burn. Okay, that's it. That's the Yellow Brick Road by Elton John.
Okay. Panahon na ba ni Emer yung kanta na yan? Ako, mag-agad sa kasi Emer. Panahon mo ba yun, Emer? Nawala si Chairwoman. Kabisado ni Emer yung kanta eh, tsaka ni Vivian. Okay. Ayan na si Chairwoman. Ayan. Ay, teka. Add to stream. Okay. So, guys, habang hinihintay natin si Chairwoman, clap hands. Ayan. Malapit tayo matapos. Nasa box na to yung wish. Nasa box na to yung wish.
Push.
Ayan si Chairwoman. Okay, thank you sa iyong kanta na I think pakapanahunan yata ni Emer Abiera yung kanta na yon. Okay. Kapanahunan ni Emer yan. Alam ko namang mag-oppose siya pero wala naman siya magagawa dahil hindi naman siya makakaangal ngayon. Okay, so Chairwoman, bago ka mag-leave, bago tayo mag-end ng ating episode for today, of course, we will be fulfilling a wish care of Chairwoman, our wish fulfiller for tonight. At sino ang maswerteng, sinulat ko na siya. Habang kanina nagte-question kayo kay Chairwoman, sinulat-sulat ko na siya. At kailangan ay nandito siya kapag nanalo siya sa oras na to. Ayan, wala nang tumanggap. Ay, nawala si Chairwoman. Okay. Ayan. Ayan. Chairwoman is back. Okay. Hello, Chairwoman. You can hear us na? Ayan. Alright. So,
Yes, I can hear you now.
bubunutin na natin yung wish na i-grant mo. Sinulat ko na sa papel. Ayan na guys ha. So, tingnan natin kung sino yung mabubuti na wish. Wish. Ang wish ay... Naku, Chairwoman. Kakilala mo yung nanalo.
Sino yan? Hindi ko makita.
Si Beatrice.
Pakiread.
Beatrice Hernandez. Si Baby Beatrice. Ang kanya, si Beatrice. Ang kanyang na-wish
Chris
ay...
Hernandez.
Yan. Ang kanyang winish ay 1,000 pesos. Kuha tayo ng...
Okay.
Yeah, oo. So, yung mga... We have again a new... meron din tayong pa-wish next week, Basta fill up nyo lang. Itong mga nandiyan kayo dito, tatanggalin ko na yung nakuha ko last week. Okay, dito, continue on pa rin. Okay, sa buong March, dito lang siya. Okay? So, bago tayo iwan ni Chairwoman, sayang no yung kanyang connection ay nawawala. Hello po, Chairwoman.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you po. So, um, hintayin lang namin mag-on yung camera nyo.
Okay. Kailan daw? Okay.
Ayan, okay. So, Chairwoman, um, thank you for sharing your life story with us. Punong-puno siya, is a roller coaster, but as I've said, salute ako sa iyo. You're not ordinary and you are so tough. And this is your first time, pero still, you will not retire to service to people. So, my question to you is how it's like to have a life dedicated to service to people as a woman.
How is like a life or my life? I think it's very satisfying, very fulfilling, and gratifying. Because if you do something that's good for others, you also want to do those things for yourself. You cannot do good things to others if you're not doing it to yourself. I love maybe service because I grew up with my dad, I grew up with the madres. Now it became a way of life. I practically grew up or grew old serving. Half my life is already spent in serving. So I would believe it's innate in me now. Yun nga yung kinakatakot ko na baka mawala. The position I said, okay naman siyang mawala, but not the service. I can still go on because we have the Daughters of Charity and maybe we have the Baguio thing. And most probably I'll do something also here in the barangay, whoever will be the chairman, especially the person I like to be leading the barangay next. I will definitely be of help.
All right. So, service is innate and a way of life. Uh,
It is
thank
already.
Thank you so much, Chairman Marisa Papa. Um, I know that you'll still be serving until December. Baka mamaya ma-postpone na naman ang election. We don't know, di ba? So, ma-extend na
Yeah.
naman tayo. Parang nakailan ka na rin ganun. Twice ka na rin na na-postpone yung election. Baka ngayon
Yes.
may pangatlo na naman, no? So, so
Oo nga.
oo, malamang sa mangyari yan because of the COVID. But definitely, I am so honored, happy to have met you, to have be one of your constituents here in Barangay 605. I'm so proud. Uh, I'm so proud. I'm so happy to learn about your story. Nakaka-inspire siya, lalo sa mga babae. Salamat doon sa pinakita mong faith in God that I think had made you survive all the roller coaster in your life. So mabuhay ka, Chairwoman Marisa. Maraming salamat sa iyo. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
And God
thank
bless
you.
you.
All right. Okay, so it's 12:04. We have extended a bit. Thank you sa lahat ng mga nanood sa atin. We still have 3 weeks. Tatanggalin ko na yung mga nabunot and we have here our remaining entries. So our takeaway for today, let's start with Anne.
Ayan po. So, yung takeaway ko po for tonight's episode is that um, a person who have a strong faith in God and a good leader can make everything positive, and it will also make him or her a top version of herself.
That's so nice. At saka nakaka-relate ka kay Chairwoman, no? Because napaka-religious mo ding tao. Ayan, katulad ka, batang-bata ka, ang dami mapulot from the life of a woman and,
Yes
to
po.
achieve
And
Yeah.
Same po kami ng association pala.
And that's so nice to know, no? All right. So, Ella,
Ayan, actually same din ako 'no ng perception dun sa takeaways ko. Yung pagiging strong ni Chairwoman as a woman, as a mother. Kasi despite those challenges po na na-encounter niya, it made her a fighter and a strong woman and very positive po yung kanyang ah, um, look sa life. And another thing is, yun nga, yung faith po talagang hindi lang basta na lang at the age of yung older, kasi yung faith dapat talaga ay malalim and nag-start talaga yan sa family, sa kung paano tayo pinalaki sa parents natin. So dun nagsisimula. Kumbaga yung takeaways ko masyado siyang, ah, tinignan ko lang siya kung papaano siya nagse-share no ng kanyang experiences kanina. So yun yung nakita ko, yung takeaways ko sa kanya is, um, to be a fighter and to be a strong woman is very important, na meron kang deep faith 'no, sa sarili mo para you can handle things in a balanced way. Nakita niyo naman kung paano siya mag-serve as a chairwoman, na-balance niya 'yon, minahal niya yung mga tao niya. So yung pagmamahal daw niya, yung love and respect niya sa mga tao bumabalik din sa kanya, nasabi niya 'yon kanina. So, for me napakagandang ano nun, take away.
thank you, Elle. Of course, I've written so many good words from our chairman. No? Sabi niya, not all not all in life are rosy, but most are victorious because God planned her life. So we just have to believe, no? We have a God and that God us to where we are right now. At doon niya sinabi niya na if you really um, have a life of good reputation and integrity, a door of golden opportunities will open. Be like Chairwoman, talagang her journey was not easy, no? I couldn't imagine if I myself was in her shoes, what what could have I done, no, during those situations. But still, at still, no, parang baliwala lang mga nangyari in the past na mga adversities. Very positive outlook. At saka gusto ko yung sinabi niya, having the opportunity to serve her parents and half of her life serving the people. So indeed, to all my neighbors out there, Barangay 605 is very lucky to have a chairwoman unopposed for so long time. We're so lucky to have her, and we are, of course, looking forward to a very, very brighter future of the more of her service upon the retirement from being a barangay chairman. So to all women out there, she is one empowered woman that really gave us a very big lesson in our life. Okay, so thank you, Ella, once. Thank you, Anne. And to all our viewers, maraming salamat and hope to see you again next week for another Women Empowering episode. Okay, guys, in a count of three, one,
One,
two,
2, 3.
three.
Thank you, Team Helpful, Sir Randy.